Okay. Want to say good afternoon. This is the pastor of the New Garment Church Ministry. Amen. I'm hoping everybody will have a blessed day today. Amen. We just want to, amen, say a few words, amen, encouragement. Amen. No doubt somebody is about to, amen, step into a new position. Amen. Amen. Going to the next level in your life. Amen. And we just want to encourage you. Amen. Don't be afraid. Just step in. Amen. And the Lord to be with you. You remember when the Lord, amen, told Moses, amen, when he spoke to him in the wilderness, amen, and Moses was on his way, amen, to a place, amen, unknown, and he was just walking, and when the bush caught on fire, and he looked, and he was wondering, amen, what do this mean? Amen. And the Lord spoke to him and called his name, and he said, Moses. And Moses said, Lord, here I am. Amen. And the Lord said to him, amen, pull off your sandals, for the place where thou standing is holy ground. Amen. And the Lord continued to speak to him. Amen. And Moses said, now, Lord, amen, the Lord wanted him to go on a mission. Amen. He was about to enter into something that, amen, he wasn't sure about, and he wasn't confident enough, amen, to knew that he could do the job. Amen. And he began to question the Lord. You know, sometimes, amen, you ask the Lord questions about certain things that's happening, events that's happening in your life. Amen. And the Lord told him that I want you to go, amen, into the city of Egypt. Amen. I want you to tell Pharaohs to let my people go. Amen. And Moses, amen, said, Lord, amen, how can I tell them what do I need to do? Why do you choose me? Amen. And how am they not going to believe me if I tell them? Amen. And the Lord told Moses, tell them that I am, amen, who I am, amen, told you to go, amen, and tell the children of Israel, amen, to the Pharaohs to let my people go. Amen. And to convince the children of Israel, amen, he had to convince them because he wasn't sure that they were going to believe him. So the Lord had to send a sign. Amen. And he began to ask Moses, Moses, what is that you got in your hand? And Moses said, a rod. Amen. Okay. And the Lord said, Moses, cast it to the ground. Amen. And when he cast it to the ground, amen, it turned into a serpent. Amen. And when Moses looked and seen it, amen, he was afraid. And the Lord said, now Moses, amen, stretch forth thy hand and catch it by the tail. Amen. And Moses began to obey. Amen. He stretched forth his hand and caught the serpent by the tail. Amen. And it turned back into a rod. You see, amen, when God tells you to do something, amen, I want you to know that, amen, he got your back. Amen. He won't let you down. He won't harm you. Neither will he let anything harm you if he tell you to do anything. Amen. And when Moses did that, amen, goes to God, and the snake turned back into a rod, amen, and the Lord give him a second, amen, evidence. Amen. Told Moses, now take your hand and put it into your bosom. Amen. And Moses put his right hand in his bosom, and the Lord said, now take it out. And when he take it out, amen, his hand was leprous. it was full of leprosy, and it was sore, and it was painful. Amen. And the Lord said, now put it back in your bosom. Amen. And Moses put his hand back in his bosom. Amen. The Lord said, now take it out. And when he taken his hand out of his bosom, amen, he was completely whole. Amen. I want you to know that, amen, the Lord, amen, when he tell you to do something, when he give you a mission to do, amen, I want you to know he's not going to send you out by yourself, amen, and neither will he leave you alone. Amen. So Moses had to convince, amen, the children of Israel that, amen, that he was called and sent to do this mission. Amen. So he went, amen, and began to approach the children of Israel. Amen. And they wanted to know, amen, now, you said that you talked to God in the wilderness. You telling us that you're going to lead us out of the city of Egypt. Amen. In other words, what proof do you have? How do we know that the Lord spoke to you? How do we know that he sent you to do this mission? And Moses began to perform, amen, glory to God, amen, the evidence that God have given him to show them that I sent him to do this work. Amen. And Moses began to take the rod in his hand, and he cast it to the ground before the children of Israel. Amen. And they were all amazed, and they were scared. Amen. And then Moses caught it by the tail, and it turned back into a rod. Amen. And the second evidence that God gave Moses to do was putting his hand in his bosom and bringing it out again. Moses performed that, amen, evidence before them, and he put his hand in his bosom and brought it out. And his hand was sore with leprosy, and it was painful, amen. They began to grow back, amen, and Moses put it back in his bosom. And when he brought it out the second time, it was completely whole. Amen. And they believed Moses. Amen. They believed that, okay, the Lord sent you to do this work. Amen. So Moses had to convince Pharaoh. Amen. He had to go face a man that was in power. Amen. A man that, amen, that people were scared to approach and to talk to or to say anything to, because Pharaoh was the king. Amen. He was the god of Egypt. Amen. And you just couldn't approach him. You just couldn't go to him. Amen. Unless, amen, you were sent from him to come to confront him. Amen. So Moses went to on his mission. Amen. That the Lord give him to do. Amen. And he did as God commanded him. And he confronted Moses. Amen. Confronted Pharaoh. Excuse me. Amen. And he told Pharaoh, the Lord sent me to tell you to let my people go. Amen. With many, amen, glory to God, plagues that God sent to Pharaoh. Amen. Y'all know the story. Amen. You know the story of the plagues that God sent upon Pharaoh. Amen. The frogs. Amen. And the grasshoppers. Amen. And glory to God. And the water turning to blood. I mean, all of these plagues God sent to Pharaoh. But he yet refused to let God's people go. Amen. But remember that God hardened Pharaoh's heart. And out of all of these plagues, amen, even taking away the firstborn, amen, children, the male children, God taking them away. Amen. Pharaoh lost his firstborn. Amen. God would kind of let him know that, amen, I'm in charge. Amen. I am the Lord thy God. Amen. Glory to God. And it's hard to kick against the prick. But what I'm saying to you today, amen, if God give you something to do, amen, step in. Do it. Have faith in God. Trust in God. Amen. I'm here to tell you, he won't let you down. Amen. So Moses, amen, after so long a time, amen,